Today morning, after my routine exercises, when I get back to my room, I opened the TV, and a very interesting movie was on the screen. Hey Ram, हमने गांधी को मार दिया. It sounds so nice that I watched the movie, and also this movie gave me strength actually to speak on the most unfortunate event of my happened in India, and that is partition. In short, the movie was made in the backdrop of I think 28 January 1948. It's a train journey. In a train, in a one compartment, there are two set of people traveling together with different ideology. One set supporting Gandhi Baba, other set of people against his ideology, and their conversation. Wonderfully made movie. I think everyone should watch. Now, as far as I'm concerned, and my views on partition, I feel very, very strongly that like that, just as the world history is divided into two distinct eras, BC, before Christ, and AD, Anno Domini, it means in the year of our Lord. For millions living in this Indian subcontinent, my friend, it is divided into BP, before partition, and PP, post partition. My friend, 15th August 1947 marked the decisive moment when Pakistan in the northwest and Pakistan in the east, which is now Bangladesh, were separated from my beloved country, India. Now I've read far too many books. You all must have seen far too many movies and books and different the ideologies perpetrated from time to time. I'm not linking with any political movement at all or political party's ideology. It's simple. But what I have come to the conclusion that in fact, long before Iqbal and Jinnah had come up with two nation theory, it was friends like Keshav Baliram Hegdewar, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Lajpat Rai, and V.D. Savarkar, who had come up with the Hindu nation theory. Lajpat Rai had even, my friend, drawn a map of divided India, and or how the division will take, divided India will look like. He has made the map dividing the country into two parts, along with the religious lines. It was botched up surgical operation. India's arms were chopped off without any anesthesia, my friend, and a stream of blood it flooded the land of the five rivers known as Punjab. War broke out. Between Muslims on the one side and Hindus and Sikhs on the other. It was not like other wars in which armed men battle with each other, but one in which one side armed with swords, knives and staffs slew the other side unarmed and unresisting. Over 10 millions were uprooted from their homes. In a couple of months, my friend, 1 million were slaughtered in cold blood. almost overnight, Muslims, Hindus, and Sikhs who had coexisted amicably over centuries, they become sworn enemies. Unbelievable, simply unthinkable, but it happened. It's a reality and a truth. The aftermath was more barbaric than anything beats could have done to each other. Anything. From March 1947, the exodus had begun. The two communities had already started moving, and by April, riots had broken all over. By August, it was a full-fledged movement. My friend, very painful to say repeatedly, but it happened that my country, my beloved country, India, was unfortunately never integrated. There was no real meetings of hearts between Hindus and Muslims. They have been friends, but mostly on a superficial level, I would say. There was no real intermingling, no inter-community marriages. Jinnah harped on about Muslims being apprehensive of living in a Hindu majority state. And the majority of the Muslims, middle class, responded to this. Again, unfortunate, but this happened. Partition was inevitable, my friend. It had to take place. Pointing fingers at anyone or the whole bunch of political figures involved serves just no purpose, because nobody could have stopped it. The built up, that fury, that communally charged atmosphere was difficult to control by anyone. The only thing is that partition could have taken place without so much bloodshed and violence, I suppose. It was the bloodiest exchange history can witness anywhere, any part of the world. I don't think either Pandit Nehru or Jinnah had imagined this level of violence. In any case, both of them seems to live in a dream world of their own. Jinnah had even hoped that he would go back to Bombay and live in his house there. My friend, there's one of the big reasons why I have so much of deep respect, love and regards for our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. Why? Because he was the only person who did seem to comprehend the very seriousness of partition. And all that followed was Mahatma, it was only one and only Mahatma Gandhi. He did not take part in any of the independence celebrations. He had remained quiet and even went on a fast. When anti-Pakistan feelings were at a fever pitch and the Indian government refused to honor its pledge to pay Pakistan rupees 55 crore, he went on a fast, forcing Sardar Patel and Nehru to keep their word. He knew he was asking for trouble, my friend, and inevitable happened. But he did not give it a second thought. He told his secretary, Pyare Lal, I was reading, quote unquote, Gandhi, that today I find myself alone. Even the Sardar Patel and Jawaharlal Nehru think that that the reading of the situation, the Gandhis, he said, my reading of the situation is wrong, and peace is sure to return if the partition is agreed upon. I shall perhaps not be alive to witness it, but should the evil I apprehend overtake India and her independence be imperiled, let it not be said that Gandhi was a party to India's vivisection. My dear friend, I really do not know actually or really who are responsible for the partition of my beloved country, beautiful country. But I very sincerely pray, almost in every prayer of mine, that all those who are responsible for this, may God grant them hell, at least. Thank you.